What's good with it, Black Goose TV family? Double salute as always, man. Hopefully, y'all money is going absolutely amazing. Look, we have a very interesting reaction video we finna get into right now, okay? And this has to do with Jake Paul and Hasim Rachman Jr. Apparently, there was some type of leaked footage that was dropped showing Jake Paul getting dropped by a jab from Rockman Jr. in the sparring session that was revealed, or at least, a couple of edits was put out previously from Jake Paul showing them getting into an argument about what happened afterwards. A lot of people speculated, and it was like, yo, Rockman Jr. is the mad one. So obviously Jake Paul got the better of him. Jake Paul was more chilled. So obviously Rockman Jr. must have been mad about something. Like, even if you guys check out ProBox Talk TV, salute to that YouTube channel. Enjoyed a lot. Roy Jones Jr., he even said himself, he was like, hey, yo, you saw the little sparring clip that was put out where it showed them going back and forth. You know how sparring goes. If you're the mad one and the other one's the cool one, usually you know who got the better of the other one. If you mad, you probably took an advantage of it. You cool, you probably did the better. And you know what I'm saying? Me personally, for my little sparring wars, yeah, like the only time I ever got mad in sparring, it was because, I was getting my ass whooped. You feel me? The only time I didn't get mad and someone else got mad was because I was doing my thing. So I definitely get that, but you never know. When it comes to personalities, my personality is not like that. But from my experience, yes, if you're upset, when sparring is over, mid sparring, if you're upset at any point in sparring, usually it's not going that well for you, right? But who knows how much truth that is? There's all allegedly, but right now, we're going to get into this reaction video where apparently there was footage dropped showing that Rockman caught Jake Paul with a jab, and apparently Jake Paul dropped from that. Now, with that being said, I'm not going to overanalyze this. I just want to look at it, see how it looks. Remember, guys, I told y'all, anybody who's been watching any of my videos, I will be dropping a video showing 5 reasons why Jake Paul can beat Rockman Jr. I'm also going to be doing the vice versa for Rockman Jr. I was supposed to have the first one out Sunday. Had crazy shit happen to me. I'll be explaining that influences in tonight, so make sure y'all check that out. But make sure you just look out for the videos, or at the very least, look out for the channel for when I do drop those videos, because it'll be absolutely fire. But now, with that being said, make sure y'all hit the like video, comment on this joint, subscribe to the channel, road to 5K before the end of the year, notification gang. Let's get into this. Let's see how legitimate this alleged leak of sparring is. Is this bullshit? Is this clickbait? Is this just, yo, I'm going to put something out there so we all can see it, or is it real? So let's go ahead and watch it this way first and foremost. It looks like it's something on the background of the screen. It's hard to see, or hard for y'all to see. I'll give y'all a better view, you know what I'm saying, do the full screen side of the game. You already know what it is. So let's get into this joint. Slow to the people, man. I'm going to give my 2 cents as well. Let's see how it goes. That's it. So I'm gonna turn off the sound. Looks like they had it on in the background. So they had the sparring on in the background of him working out. That's interesting. So if you watch it, it's a very lackluster and a leisure spar. It's hard to really see. But if you watch a lot of Rockman Jr. sparring, which, by the way, that's going to be one of the things that I'm going to be detailing and talking about when it comes to some of the reasons why I believe Jake Paul can win and vice versa. Rockman Jr. is very, very leisure when it comes to how he spars. He's not aggressive. He doesn't go over the top, at least from the little bit I've seen. So here it is. This is where they say it looks like he's got dropped from a jab. There's a jab. He gets hit, and they're saying that's a drop from Jake Paul. So that's what they were talking about, guys. Okay, that's complete bullshit. That is complete bullshit. This is clickbait. No one was a drop from a jab right there. That was absolutely and complete utter bullshit. So we've been clickbaited, guys. So I'm gonna run it back. I'm gonna let it go, back through. I'll try to explain it the best I can, so you guys know that that definitely wasn't a drop. Basically, what happened was, and I know this a lot because when I was, into boxing, the amount of time I was with Jake Paul, a lot of people that I've been around, watching, whatever the case may be, he did a natural reaction. So Rockman Jr. threw his jab very lightly. Jake Paul probably felt the jab on him, and so he assumed a right hand or a left hook was coming after. So after he got touched, he ducked down really low. So it's like you got to look at this. So I'm Jake Paul. I'm lefty. I'm sitting here. The jab comes over the top. It might touch me. I get hit with the jab. Boom. If he felt with the jab, you guys got to understand the first thing you're taught is if I can touch you with the jab, I'll be able to just pound that right hand through you. So Jake Paul probably knew that. And let me go ahead and rewind this. Because clickbait, man, that's just, you're not going to have too many channels do this for you guys, man. You really aren't. Like it's gonna be super rare. Like people are gonna want to follow with the clickbait. People are gonna say, yeah, Jake Paul got dropped from the jab. Did you see it? He couldn't even take a jab from Rachman Jr., etc. But what's gonna happen? Because you got to remember he was sparring with Rachman Jr. during the Nate Robinson fight, so that means he was very green. So he got touched with the jab. He got touched here, and so he assumed a right hand. So that makes me think Rachman was letting a lot of right hands go after he touched him with the jab or a left hook. So after he touched him with the jab, he assumed a right hand was coming. So when you get touched with the jab, when you're a beginner, your initial instinct to avoid the right hand as a orthodox is to either block, right? You're either going to block it or you're going to lean over this way, which is also a very bad habit. And it's something that, if someone does as a beginner and their initial reaction to, oh, I just got hit with a jab, now I got to get out of the way. The right hand, I'm gonna duck over this way. That's a very bad habit, because the thing about that is you can't avoid the right hand from ducking, because the right hand, if you're going to get someone who's using the left hand as a stick, as a measuring stick, they're boop, boop, boop. So boop, 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 boop. Say they touch the head, right? And they want to shoot the right hand and your head is here. A lot of people think, oh, if I duck my head here, the right hand's going to end up going over the top of it. But a lot of times what ends up happening is you duck your head here. This hand is my measuring stick. And so I'm following the head down to here. And so I'm not going to throw my right hand over here. I'm just going to follow your head ducking, and I'm going to throw it down here and you get knocked out. If you guys want an example, go look at Chris Arreola versus Andy Ruiz. When Andy Ruiz knocked down, when Chris Arreola knocked down Andy Ruiz, he did the same thing. He threw that jab. Andy Ruiz slipped, but he did the wrong thing where he slipped and then he ducked down here. And then Chris Arreola just followed the right hand. He was like, nigga, this jab ain't meant to hurt you. It's a measuring stick. So hopefully that makes sense for you guys. I know a lot of you guys are probably seeing me. I know I'm compact, and that's why I haven't, dropped the video yet, showing you guys keys and ways and success that Jake Paul can win and Rachman can win, because I'm very intricate. You guys have to see what I'm talking about. And so as you guys can see, Jake Paul right there, you can see it looks like he got dropped from that jab, but he did not get dropped from the jab. He literally got touched by the jab the first time. And then when the second one touched him, his instinct was to get out of the way of the right hand. So he got touched here. I'm Jake Paul now. The jab hits me here. The jab goes away. I'm assuming the right hand's going to come over the top here. So how am I going to avoid it? I got hit with the jab. Let me duck out of the way, because I think the jab is going to go over this way. That's a very natural instinct for beginning boxers. If you guys don't know that, a very natural instinct for beginning boxers is not to slip a 1-2. A lot of beginning boxers do not go, the jab came, I got hit with the jab here. So now the 2 is going to come across here. I need to slip the opposite way. That seems very dangerous for a beginning boxer. It seems like you're slipping in the way of danger, even though you're getting out of the way. Your initial instinct is to slip further down this way, out of the way of the jab, rather than thinking about the opposite of, I needed to slip this way. I don't need to slip this way. But a lot of people, it's a very natural instinct for people who haven't been in boxing, okay? But people don't understand. Jab hits here. I'm going to slip out of the way this way. You're actually putting for orthodox, you're putting yourself in the position in the way for you to get hit by that right hand very, very, very easily when it comes to that. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to do it one more time. We're 9 minutes into it. So say I'm Jake Paul. I'm sitting here. Rachman Jr. hit me with that jab. Boom. It hit me with the jab here. He went to come hit me with the jab again. It hit me again. Boom. Right away, I panicked because I'm like, damn, he's landing his jab at will. So if he can land his jab, he can land his right hand. So off of that second jab, I'm ducking all the way out of the way because I'm assuming that right hand is coming over the top, where after he touches me with that jab, the right hand is coming over the top to hit me here. If I duck here, it'll go over this way, right? That's what I assume as a beginner, even though in reality, a lot of times, if you're going against an advanced well, not advanced, but if you're going to get someone more skilled with you in boxing, they set you up with that. They'll tap with the jab, and they're going to assume that you are going to be like, oh, he's touching me too much. Let me get out of the way this way. And then once you're leaning that way to the side, they just load that right hand up, and they hit. They make it easier for them ducking down there for the right hand, because it's harder to shoot a right hand up than it is to shoot a right hand down. See what I'm saying? And that's just a natural thing to do as a beginner. When you're more advanced, you understand he's touching me with the jab. He's touching me with the jab. Rather than go this way, you understand jab, jab. You're going to go outside of the dude's right hand, and then you can boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? Then you can work your angles, your hooks, etc. when you're talking about the orthodox. So debunked. He was not dropped by a jab. That was not a powerful jab. You could tell it was a very leisure sparring session. So even off of that small clip, I can tell neither Jake Paul or Rachman Jr. could take anything away from their sparring. And I actually give a little bit more props to Jake Paul for this, because from a lot of the shit I've seen from Rachman Jr., his sparring seems to be very lackadaisical, similar to what we were seeing a little bit in that background, which worked for Jake Paul during that time. So I think Jake Paul's mindset is, if he's that lackadaisical in sparring, if he's that lackadaisical in training, from what we've seen in his fights, he's pretty lackadaisical. If we bring the aggression, we can make him uncomfortable. I think that's their idea, right? Remember, this is not the keys of how either one is going to win. I'll be dropping those videos for y'all, so make sure y'all look out for that. But let me know what y'all think about that. We're debunking this shit. Jake Paul did not get dropped by a jab. That's very amateur level to even put it out there, but it works for clickbait. I'll probably end up changing the title so you guys know what the deal is. But let me know what you guys think about this video. Drop it below in the comments. Subscribe to the channel. Road to 5K before the end of the year. Help your boy out, man. It's the realest boxing channel you ever get. You feel me? I ain't out here trying to look for clicks. I ain't out here trying to make shit up just so y'all can fuck with me. I tell y'all the real. Either y'all go with it, you roll with it, you don't. And it don't really matter to me, man. That's how I live my life. You feel me? So much love to the people, man. On Switch Nigga Side of the Game. I'll be back with more boxing. Much love. Stay blessed, not stressed. Keep moving. You already know what it is.